With the end of the year quickly approaching, now would be a good time to catch up on all the urban legend goodness that we've taken away from 2015. From the creepy to the downright bizarre, 2015 provided us with a plethora of rumors that were sure to concern the uninformed and re-imply the advice that you shouldn't believe everything that you read on the internet. Let's begin our countdown of the top 5 internet hoaxes of 2015. On February 24th, a Facebook user posted a photograph of what appeared to be sliced oranges with a bizarre red, vein-like discoloration. According to the original poster, the oranges depicted were imported from Libya, seized in Algeria, and had been injected with HIV-positive blood samples. The image had previously appeared on a Facebook page on February 19th, but the original poster of this version appeared to be far more skeptical. The earlier post in question observed the rumors about the oranges varied, and that the source of the photograph was unknown. Prior to that, an even earlier version of this myth was posted to a message board on December 19, 2014, and similarly claimed that the oranges were tainted with HIV-positive blood. Regardless of the origin of the image or the posts, the claims that the posts imply are not plausible. Even if the oranges shipped from Libya to Algeria were infected with HIV, no threat would be posed to the uninfected by that sort of contamination, because HIV cannot be transmitted in the manner described. Except for extremely rare cases in which children were exposed to and consumed food that was pre-chewed by an HIV-infected caregiver, HIV has not otherwise been spread through food. The virus does not live long outside the body, and you cannot get it from consuming food handled by an HIV-infected person. Even if the food contained small amounts of HIV-infected blood or semen, exposure to air, heat from cooking, and stomach acid would destroy the virus before it would have a chance to affect the subject consuming it. On July 14, 2015, the website Newswatch 33 published an article titled "NASA Confirms Earth Will Experience 15 Days of Complete Darkness in November of 2015, claiming that NASA confirmed that the Earth will experience 15 days of total darkness between November 15th and November 29th, 2015. The event, according to NASA, hadn't occurred in over 1 million years. According to the article, astronomers from NASA indicated that the world would remain in complete darkness starting on Sunday, November 15th at 3 a.m. and ending on Monday, November 30th at 4:15 p.m. Per the article, NASA officials confirmed that the November blackout event is a result of another astronomical event happening between Venus and Jupiter. The article also notes that Charles Bolden, who was appointed to head of NASA by President Obama, issued a 1,000-page document explaining the event to the White House. While Charles Bolden is a real NASA official, Newswatch 33 is not a legitimate news outlet. Newswatch 33 is a fake news site that began invading social media networks shortly after the nearly identical Newswatch 28 fake news site shut down in mid-2015. Even worse, the 15 Days of Darkness myth was stolen from an older, previously debunked viral rumor that had been passed around social media many times in the past. Newswatch 33 has hoaxed social media users a number of times since its inception, falsely claiming that supporters raised $4 million in defense of Charleston shooter suspect Dylan Roof, also that a girl was electrocuted by her iPhone's earbuds, and that the federal government had wired inexpensive cigars with listening devices. In October 2015, a similar fake news website called Hustlers published an article titled "NASA Confirms Earth Will Experience 6 Days of Total Darkness in December of 2015, which was the same article essentially repackaged with different details. As far as credibility is concerned, previous Hustlers hoaxes include claims that McDonald's was busted using human meat, that an Ebola victim rose from the dead as a zombie, and that Chipotle was caught using cat and dog meats in their burritos. If anyone is living in darkness, it's clearly these fake news websites. The Paris attacks by ISIS militants in November of 2015 led to a recirculation of a decade-old internet rumor, which, in its most recent form, was a warning supposedly issued by Kimberly Bush Carr of the Department of Homeland Security. However, originally, in February 2003, a number of security alerts regarding UPS uniforms were distributed by various social media and law enforcement-related sources. Many of them stated that the information originated with a warning issued by UPS themselves regarding missing delivery personnel uniforms. Anyone who encountered these warnings seemed to immediately link them to the threat of terrorism, promptly bringing to attention the potential for harm if Al-Qaeda members took to impersonating USPS package couriers. The warning about missing uniforms seemed to follow in the footsteps of another terrorism-related rumor, one that stated in the days directly following September 11th, between 20 and 30 Ryder, Verizon, and U-Haul trucks had gone missing. It was implied that they had been taken by terrorists in order to carry out further attacks on unsuspecting Americans. The rumor that a large number of uniforms were missing seemed to have sprung another rumor that arose in 2003 regarding the intentions of a small private group of buyers who were bidding what seemed like suspiciously high sums for UPS uniforms on eBay. eBay responded that, to the contrary, UPS uniforms were being offered and sold on its site as late as January 2003. Many explanations for this rumor arose after it began. Users who sold UPS uniforms had often acquired them by purchasing them through thrift shops. They said that they were contacted by cybercrime units who wanted to verify that the uniforms weren't stolen, and who told them that UPS was buying up its uniforms to keep them off the street. Some people claimed that a private firm had been hired by UPS and was purchasing the uniforms on the company's behalf. Some people even speculated that due to the national security concerns, the FBI arranged to be the top bidder for any UPS uniform sold online. The response that was finally given from UPS via email disclaimed any notion of missing uniforms and suggested that UPS and law enforcement agencies were aware of recent sales of all UPS uniforms, and they had found nothing suspicious about them. The Washington Post later reported law enforcement agencies, eBay, and UPS all debunked and refuted any claims of missing or stolen uniforms. UPS spokeswoman Susan Rosenberg in Atlanta has stated that the email has been thoroughly investigated by the FBI as well as local law enforcement. eBay spokesman Kevin Persglove also says that the UPS story has no basis in real-life events. In April 2011, the rumor was given renewed publicity by the Los Angeles Police Department, who posted the warning on its website, giving unfortunate false credence to the tale. Later that same day, the LAPD posted a retraction of the warning, saying that the info was, quote-unquote, apparently an internet myth. On January 31, 2015, Empire News published an article indicating that a body of a deceased homeless man discovered in San Diego was found through DNA testing to belong to none other than Elvis Presley. Soon afterwards, links and excerpts referencing this article were being circulated via social media, leading many who encountered it to mistake it for a genuine news article. However, the report was clearly a spoof of the age-old Elvis is alive and Elvis faked his death rumors that have circulated the media ever since his passing in August of 1977. The spoof article was written and published by Empire News, a fake news site that posts fictional comedic news article pieces. Empire News' website disclaimer even states that the site is intended for entertainment purposes only. On December 1, 2015, Mark Zuckerberg shared a post on the social media site Facebook, announcing the birth of his daughter and a promise to give away 99% of his and his wife's Facebook shares. A Facebook post claiming that the lucky users could win $4.5 million immediately by liking and sharing a thank you message to Mark Zuckerberg began circulating promptly after this announcement. While Mark Zuckerberg hasn't said exactly who will benefit from his generosity, the post claiming that random users can snag $4.5 million of it simply by liking a post on Facebook definitely was not created by him or any of his representatives. The post is an example of the common something-for-nothing hoaxes that have been circulating since the early days of the internet, tricking gullible users into forwarding, liking, and sharing messages with the promise of large financial rewards in return. Well, there we have it. Hopefully you didn't fall victim to any of these hoaxes as this year comes to a close. Here's to 2016 and all of the crazy hoaxes that it's sure to bring to the table. Happy New Year!